Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. We're here to discuss the Summer Work Travel Program. My name is Sharon, this is Bob, we're consular officers at the embassy, and this is Katya, our Webchat moderator. Every year we work with students from Ukraine who want to spend the summer in the U.S., work, earn some money, and have a cultural exchange experience.
Last year, we processed about 5,000 summer work travel applicants here in Ukraine. The Summer Work and Travel Program is very popular with students not only in Ukraine, but all over the world. Over the past 5 years, over 2 million students have been issued a J1 visa to travel to the U.S., with almost 40,000 coming from Ukraine.
We'll start interviewing for the Summer Work Travel Program on February 17th, and you can schedule your interview starting from today. Hello everyone, thanks for joining us. We're here to discuss the Summer Work Travel Program. My name is Sharon. We will continue to interview applicants until the end of May. We really encourage you to schedule your interview as early as possible so that you don't miss the opportunity to participate in this program.
Also, for this year, we're happy to announce that the program dates have changed a little bit. They've been extended until September 9th, which allows you to work through the U.S. holiday known as Labor Day. So once again, the program dates are from May 9th to September 9th this year. You can find updated instructions for the Summer Work and Travel 2015 program on the link that we provided right below the screen where this web chat's going on. So please visit us at our Facebook page, SWT Ukraine.
So before we start, I want to remind our viewers that in order to submit your questions, you must log in using your Google Plus or YouTube account. And while you are logging in, we will review the questions you have sent to our mailbox. So the first question is from Alexei. He asks if fifth year students can apply for Summer Work and Travel program. If this is the last year of study, what are the chances to get a visa? Bob?
So great question, Alexei. So absolutely, fifth year students can apply for the Summer Work and Travel program. Just like every other student, we're going to review your ties to your home country, Ukraine, and also look at your dedication to your studies along with other factors that would be overall look at you as a student and for you to come back and come back after the program. But absolutely, fifth year students can apply.
The second question is, can I participate in the Summer Work and Travel program without the local agency? Can I contact the US sponsor directly and schedule visa appointment individually? Sharon?
That, again, very good question. Absolutely. You do not have to work with a local agency. A local agency can help you to navigate the process. But if you can find a U.S. sponsor who is willing to work with you directly, you are certainly able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Next question is from the foreign student currently on his third year at Kyiv National Economics University. He was awarded a scholarship by his government and the government of Ukraine to study in Ukraine. He has a photocopy of the letter stating that he has been awarded a scholarship and also the photocopy of a letter from the Ministry of Education of Ukraine placing him into this particular university. He would like to know if he can submit these letters during his visa interview as a proof of ties to his home country and Ukraine, even though they are not original but photocopy.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Katya, for bringing up that question. So if you have documents that you think are going to be good evidence of you, your one commitment to being a student and your ties to Ukraine, please bring those documents with you. We prefer them to be originals, not photocopied. That being said, it doesn't mean that the officer will look at those documents at the time of the interview. But if you think they're important and it's something that we should look at, please bring them with you.
So the next three questions are from one of the local agency. In case the university did not issue the student card, or in case the student card was lost or stolen, if the student is still allowed to participate, if the student could provide any other additional documents to prove his student status. Unfortunately, some of the universities are still issuing the student cards and cannot make it on time before the visa appointment.
So absolutely, we do want to see the student card. We want to see proof that you are a student. We realize that sometimes you may have lost your card, or maybe your university hasn't issued the card yet. You would need to bring a letter from your university saying that either the card was lost or that they're issuing it, something that actually can prove to us that you are a student. And we will verify that. So if you can bring the letter, that would be good. We will verify.
In case the Ukrainian student studies in foreign university, for example in Poland, in which country he should apply for the Summer Work and Travel program?
Okay, Last year, we had lots of students who studied in Poland apply in Ukraine. But that being said, we would really like it. We think that the best country would be for you to apply in Poland. You're eligible to apply in Poland or to apply in Ukraine. The reason we would encourage you to apply in Poland is because that is where you're actually studying, and they could be the best judge of looking at your student credentials and what you're doing at the university, and just to overall look at your student status.
And the last question is, some of the US sponsors offered the insurance for 5 months. It's included in sponsors' fees. For example, the student will arrive on May 9th and he will work 4 months till September 9th. And during the visa interview, he will demonstrate the insurance valid till October 8th. Please advise, what should be the latest day stated on the insurance?
So certainly you need to have insurance through the length of stay in the United States, through the length of your program, and that will be the date on your visa as well. So you have to have the insurance while you're in the United States.
We are getting questions. How much does it take to get the passport with visa after the interview?
How long does it take?
It usually takes, how
long does it take?
How long does it take to get the passport with visa?
Bob, you want to take that one?
Sure, that's right. Generally, if everything's good and you're going to be issued the visa, it takes about 5 working days before you'll receive the passport and visa. And you'll receive that passport at whichever location that you registered your passport for.
And if the question was how much money does it cost, so it's for free. You don't have to pay any additional fees. You pay 160 MRV fee, and that's included to your delivery.
And we want to be careful about that. We want to stress this as well. So you have the $160 fee for the visa. There is no additional fee for scheduling an interview, for example. So if you're working for an agency that's charging additional fees, don't work with that agency. And also, please let us know if you're being charged additional fees that you shouldn't be paying.
So the next question is, does participation in Green Card DV lottery affect on getting J1 visa?
No, it doesn't. So if you have applied for the diversity visa lottery, that should have no effect on whether or not you're going to receive a J1 visa.
Okay, thank
Sharon,
you.
is there anything else to add for that one?
We recognize that many people play the DV lottery, and so it really shouldn't have any effect on the summer work travel visa.
Bob, Sharon, I have a question for you. When you were a college student, did you work somewhere during the summer?
When I was a college student, I was working as a transit bus driver for the city. So this is not a job that a summer work travel student would be eligible for. But yes, I was working during the summer.
And you?
So Bob was a bus driver.
I was a bus driver, that's correct.
And you can't transport passengers as summer work and travel. I did a job that many of you might be able to do. I actually worked in an ice cream parlor at a Baskin-Robbins when I was in college.
Oh, that's great. We have another question. Can the citizens of the Belarus participate in summer work and travel program with the help of Belarusian agency and apply for the J1 visa interview in Kyiv?
So Belarus, students from Belarus can apply for the summer travel program here in Kyiv. So yes, that is allowable.
Sharon, let's start with the most relevant question for everyone. When is the first day of interviews for summer work and travel program?
So our first day of interviews would be February 17th. That would be a Tuesday. But you need to schedule your interview 2 weeks in advance for your interview. So if you schedule today, you'd be able to come in on the 17th.
We got a new question. Does the situation in the country affect on getting visa?
Okay. Well, first of all, we do take into consideration, again, we look at what the personal situation is for each student. So, for example, if you're a student studying in Lviv, I think there hasn't been a lot of change in that situation. But in general, we'll have to look at it on a student-by-student basis. But let's look at the requirements. You need to be a bona fide student, which it means that you should be attending university full-time.
Accredited university.
Accredited university as a day student. Okay, that's the number one criteria. You should also be able to speak English. And what is there? Any other criteria that we have, Sharon?
They have to be willing to come back ready to come back to Ukraine to finish their studies.
And absolutely be willing to follow the rules of the program, which is that you should come back by September 9th.
Okay, Sharon, can you remind our audience the list of required documents for visa interview?
Okay, so I'm going to ask Bob to jump in and help me on this one. So certainly you need your passport.
Mm-hmm.
You need your DS 2019. You need your confirmation page with the barcode for your DS 160. You need your student ID. Did I say student ID? Student ID.
Student ID.
You need your letter from your university.
Mm-hmm.
What else do you need, Bob?
Let's see. You need your insurance,
Proof of insurance.
your SEVIS form, and do we have a sponsoring agency form? Do we have that?
No,
Okay.
we don't.
And we have a
No.
very particular order that these need to put together. So this should all be stapled together with the original letter from university first,
Mm-hmm.
then your confirmation page with the barcode, then your DS 2019, your proof of SEVIS fee, proof of medical insurance, and the copy of the job offer.
Yeah, and please pay attention that the letter from university should be issued not earlier than 1 month before visa interview.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that if you have to
Absolutely.
reschedule your interview for later in the interview period, you need to make sure that that letter is still within 1 month of your interview.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Bob, I have a question for you. How
Sure.
do summer work and travel participants can ensure their own safety while being in the U.S.?
Okay. Well, that's a great question. The first thing that all summer work and travel students should do is they should read their Wilberforce pamphlet. So often your sponsor agencies will give a copy of this to you, and please read this thoroughly before coming to the interview. This is a great way. One, it tells you about all your rights that you have in the United States, as well as some important phone numbers that you should have memorized in case you have any issues coming up.
And one of the things we officers might do when we're interviewing you is ask you questions about what is in this pamphlet to make sure you understand how to protect yourself.
So exactly. So please read this pamphlet. Also, if you have any problems, your first person you should call is your U.S. sponsor.
There's one more question. Which agency can I apply for the program with? Sharon?
So you can apply for any agency that is approved, any local agency that is approved. I believe there are 35
Yeah,
local
currently
agencies
there are
that are
35.
that are approved. And we have that list of agencies on our webpage, so you can check there to see what agencies are approved.
Can agency book group appointments for their participants?
So agencies cannot book group appointments for their participants. Agencies can register to be a what is
Use
the term again?
The travel service.
They can be a travel arranger, or which allows
Travel coordinator.
or travel coordinator.
Coordinator.
Thank you, Katya. Travel coordinator. So if your agencies have signed up for this, what they can do is they can sign you up for an appointment day, but they cannot group the appointments together or actually get a specific block of appointments.
Can I ask my friend to help me fill out the DS 160 application form? Sharon?
Absolutely, you can have your friend help you. I do question that, is your friend helping you because you don't understand the English? That's not a good sign. But your friend can help you. Remember, though, that you have to put the name of the friend who helped you. You have to put that on the form. And also, you are personally responsible for any answers that your friend puts on the form. And when you come in and we take your fingerprints, that taken of the fingerprints is your oath that all the information on the form is actually honest, true, and accurate information.
The next question is, will I be able to receive a visa if I have low grades at school? Bob, what can you answer to this question?
Okay.
This is not coming from personal experience, is it, Bob?
No, thanks, Sharon, for asking that. I had great grades at school, and if I didn't, I wouldn't tell you anyway.
Of course.
So your criteria for summer work and travel, again, that you're a full-time university day student, and that's your main eligibility. Anyone can apply, but we're just looking for real full-time students.
And it has to be academic student, not a vocational student.
Academic student, exactly.
And an
not a
accredited
vocational.
university.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have my job offer and documents from my sponsor yet. When is the last day I can schedule my visa interview for?
So the last interview, I believe, is May 29th, and you have to schedule 2 weeks prior. So about May 15th would be the last day you can schedule.
Okay. If I schedule my visa appointment but my employer has changed, what should I do?
So employer has changed.
Let's see here. So Well, you should bring the new DS 2019, and if you need to reschedule, if you don't get the DS 2019 in time, you can reschedule without any additional charge. If your sponsor does try and charge money for you to change that appointment date, please let us know. That is not allowed, and please let us know at Kyiv SWT or KyivSWT@state.gov.
One more question. What recommendations will you give to foreign students who would like to participate in the Summer Work and Travel program?
So do you mean when they come to the interview, for example?
Yeah.
So
Foreign students, I think the question is about
outside Ukraine.
third country nationals.
Okay.
Yes, who study here.
Yeah, if you're studying here, you're perfectly welcome to apply here. In fact, this is probably the best place for you to apply because your school is here, and so we can evaluate the school. So you go through the process exactly the same as any other Ukrainian student who is applying for the program. You bring in the documents we want. You make your schedule with a local agency, the same as Ukrainian students would do.
Here is one more question. Can students participate in the program for the second time and work for the same employer as the previous year?
Yes, students can participate. Students participating in the program for a second time can work with the same employer. Though we will ask questions on why do you want to work for that employer again.
It might just be a fantastic employer.
Yeah, and it could be you have a great reason for that. But we'd like to just get an idea of what you're trying to get out of the program and why would you want to go to the same place. The United States is fantastic, and there's a lot of great places to go to.
It's very big.
Yes, large country.
Yeah.
The next question is, can I bring a copy of my grade book to the interview, not an original?
We do require originals. We want to see originals of all your documents.
Thank you. So the next question is, I registered for the interview and booked appointment date, but I'm unable to come to my interview. Can I reschedule my appointment?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, if you need to reschedule your appointment, there's no fee for doing that. You can do that without charge. If you're having your agency in Ukraine schedule for you, just make sure that they're not trying to charge you an additional fee for that.
The next question is, if I have a job offer until the 31st of August, can I travel after my work's over till 9th of September?
Absolutely. This is the summer work travel program. So you have to leave the U.S. by September 9th. That means if your employment ends before September 9th, you can use that additional time to do travel.
The next question is, can a person who has not received a visa for the first time get it again, and whether need to pay for a visa fee again?
Okay.
So does this mean somebody who's refused the first time?
Okay.
I think this is what he meant.
If you've tried to obtain a visa and you were unsuccessful and were refused that visa, you can apply again. You will have to pay an additional fee. But keep in mind that we're looking for what has changed from the time that you were refused to the time that you're applying again.
Okay, next question is, I applied for a visa, but instead of the visa, I received a yellow sheet of paper. What does it mean, and what should I do next?
The most important thing to do is to very carefully read the yellow sheet of paper. So the yellow sheet of paper means that it's going to take additional time to process your application. You can go home. You don't need to stay and wait at the embassy. You can go home, and we will contact you when we finish processing.
The next question is, can I register to deliver my passport with visa to my home address?
No, right now there's not an option to do that, but there are 23 different locations of the TMM courier company. So when you register for your visa appointment, at that time you're going to pick one of those 23 locations, probably the one closest to where you live. If for some reason you needed to change that location, you can call our call center and you can change the location of where your passport and visa will be delivered.
And Katja, we have a list of those locations.
Yeah, we have the list of those locations on our webpage, ustraveldocs.com. You just need to check the courier passport delivery service. I think this is the right
And so you can then pick the most convenient location for you.
I received a refusal letter with my passport. I disagree with the consular officer's decision. Can I submit an appeal?
So if your visa was refused, there is no appeal on the refusal. You could apply again if you want to, but again, as Bob said, you really have to look at what has changed in your situation. But no, there's no appeal for a refusal.
Bob, what is the role of the U.S. sponsor during the summer work and travel program?
Okay. So the role of the U.S. sponsor is as soon as you get to the country or get to the United States, the first thing you should do is contact your sponsor to let them know that you're there and that you've begun your job or you've started your job. Because what they're going to do then is make sure that you're properly enrolled in SEVIS, which is important to maintain your status, legal status in the United States. As well as if you have any issues with your employer, your U.S.-based sponsor should be the first person that you go to when you have any troubles. So make sure that you have your sponsor's phone number memorized. It's important. If you have any problems, they should be the first person that you should call.
And we should point out that your sponsor really is responsible for making sure that you are okay in the United States.
Absolutely.
So definitely you need to make sure that they are taking care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question is, can I change my job if I find better paid position when in the U.S.?
Yes, you can change your job, but again, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you've contacted your sponsor. Make sure your sponsor knows any change in your status in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
What will happen if I forgot to inform my U.S. program sponsor about my arrival to the U.S. and register on the web page?
Okay. So as I was stating before, the U.S. sponsor is responsible for your SEVIS status. So if you go to the U.S. and you forget to inform your U.S. program sponsor, then your SEVIS status won't be registered properly. This can cause some issues later because it'll seem like that you weren't following the program properly, and you need to follow the program rules at all time.
The next question is, what should I do if I get fired?
Hopefully you will not get fired. But if you do get fired, the first thing to do, again, is to contact your U.S. sponsor. Your U.S. sponsor must help you. So they have to help you find a new job. And if you have any trouble with your U.S. sponsor, we really want you to contact us and let us know. And I think, Katya, the site is jvisas@state.gov?
Right.
Okay, so you would go to jvisas@state.gov, let them know if your U.S. sponsor is not helping you in this situation. But I know that you're not going to get fired. You're not going to get fired. So that'll be fine.
No one's going to get fired.
Yeah.
Can I stay and travel around the U.S. for 30 days of grace period after September 9th, 2015?
So unfortunately, no, you can't. The last day of the program is September 9th, 2015, and that means that you need to come back to Ukraine right after the completion of your program. So for example, if you want to travel within the U.S. for 2 weeks before your university classes begin in Ukraine, say on September 9th, you must stop work no later than August 25th to give you that 2 weeks to travel and then to return to Ukraine. If you choose to work through September 9th, you may be ineligible for the... If you choose to work, then you need to immediately return to Ukraine.
Although there is the possibility to do your travel at the beginning of the program before you start your work.
That's right. You can enter the country, I believe, Katya, it's 30 days prior to the...
To the September 9th. You mean
before the
beginning.
Before the beginning. Yeah. So you can travel up to 30 days before May 9th, correct?
Right, correct.
And maybe that's another option for you to travel a little bit earlier, then do your travel around the United States and then begin work on May 9th, for example.
We got a question, can college students participate in summer work and travel program? I think they mean vocational schools.
So this always confuses me because in the U.S. we call college and university students the same thing, but in Ukraine college means vocational students and university is academic students. Unfortunately, the summer work and travel program is only for academic students, so it's only for university students. College students in Ukraine cannot participate.
Sharon, Bob, you are the consular officers, so I think that you can share the tips on how to pass visa interview for summer work and travel successfully. You know, how to behave during the interview, what questions you will ask.
Sure. From my experience last year, I think the biggest tip I can give is to just take a deep breath and relax. I see so many students that they're qualified and they're struggling to speak in English, and then they give them a few minutes, they calm down, and then their English is great, they're a qualified student, and they end up getting the visa. So just be calm, relax, and I think that helps a lot.
And be honest. The answer questions honestly is very, very important. We're not here to stop you from participating. We're really here to make sure that you're going to be safe in the U.S., make sure you're actually going to benefit from this program as a student who's returning to Ukraine.
So the next question is, my employer told me that he will cancel my US visa and will get me deported if I quit. Is it true? Can she do that?
So the answer is no, your U.S. employer cannot cancel your visa. So again, this is an important time to just remember to look at the Wilberforce pamphlet. This pamphlet will explain a lot of information, great information about your rights in the United States. It's absolutely mandatory that you read this pamphlet, and you will be asked questions about it when you come for your interview. So please read it ahead of time.
And the next question is, can I schedule my visa interview again if I have been denied my visa?
Yes, you can apply again, but again, going back to what has changed in your situation. So you applied for an interview, you came in for an interview, you were listened to by the officer, and if the officer refused the visa, there has to be a reason for that. So you can reapply, but you're going to have to pay the fee again, the $160. So really consider what has changed in my situation before you do that.
The next question is, if my studies in Ukrainian university start in October, can I stay in the US after September 9th?
Oh, Katya, can you read the question one more time?
If my studies in Ukrainian university will start in October, can I stay in the US after September 9th?
Okay, unfortunately, no, you can't. You need to return to Ukraine by September 9th.
So everyone has the same September 9th end of program date.
Exactly. Every student participating in summer work travel from Ukraine needs to return by September 9th.
Here's one more question. Some universities start semester from September 17th, 22nd. Can the students from such universities travel after September 9th?
So we're kind of like parrots here because these are the same questions again. No, everyone has to depart the U.S. by September 9th. So if you have a university start date that's after September 9th, you still need to depart the U.S. by September 9th. That may be a good point. If you have a university start date that's earlier than September 9th, you don't get to stay in the U.S. till September 9th. You have to depart the U.S. and start your school program when the school program starts.
We got a question, can postgraduate students participate in the summer work and travel program?
So, for example, this includes medical students as well, right, Katya?
Yeah.
Okay, so absolutely, these students are eligible to participate in the summer work travel program. Again, they need to be studying at an accredited university and be a full-time day student.
Thank
Can
you.
they be a full-time night student? I thought night students could also qualify.
No, I don't think
Just day students.
Only full-time students.
Well, full-time students, yes.
Can I submit supporting documents together with the required documents?
Absolutely. The required documents are required, so you must submit those. But again, I think as Bob said earlier, if there's any documents you feel help to show the officer that you are a good student, that you're a committed student, that you're committed to returning to Ukraine at the end of the summer program, travel program, then yes, bring them in, submit them. Again, the officer might not look at them, but if you feel these are going to help you, bring them in.
The next question is about the quota, I think. How many J1 visas will be issued in Ukraine this year?
Okay, that's a great question.
Yes, Bob, what is the answer? I don't know.
That really depends on how many students apply. And how many will be issued. There is no cap on the amount of visas that we can issue.
There's no quota.
There's no quota. So the more students that apply and are qualified and accredited and have those good ties to Ukraine, the more visas that we can issue.
Okay, thank you, Bob. The next question is, if I work, it's formulated somehow. I think he's asking
If he works up until the 9th.
Up until the 9th, yeah. Can he travel on September 10th? Or I need to fly out on September 9th?
So this is a very industrious student here.
Yes.
They want to work until the very last
He's
day.
going to work till midnight on September 9th. Well, the program rules that you have to depart the U.S. by September 9th. So You could technically work in the morning of the 9th if you flew out before midnight on the 9th.
Yeah.
I like this student. This is a very, very thinking student.
So there's a question from the first year student. He's asking, do the students of the first year study finish the summer exam before the interview?
Okay, Sharon, I think you have a firm grasp on this one. I remember us talking about it.
Well, I'm actually not sure what they mean by the summer exam. So you're first year students, you finish your fall semester,
Yeah.
but you're now applying in the spring.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where the summer exams come into this.
Summer are coming in the end, like middle of May, beginning of June.
So if you're...
Oh, that's the summer semester here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you have to be in good standing, so you would have to finish your examinations in order to be in good standing with the university.
Okay.
The next question is, can a full-time student of a private university participate in summer work and travel? Does that influence visa issue? That university isn't state, like governmental.
So absolutely, a full-time student at a private university can participate if the private university is an accredited university in Ukraine.
And academic.
An academic university. So I don't know if we have any examples. I don't know of any private universities. Do you know of any?
Yeah, we have a lot of private universities.
I'm just trying to think of an example. But so if it's an accredited private university, you're more than welcome to apply and participate in summer work travel.
And there's no preference for public university students.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question is, can I apply for summer work and travel program if I participated in green card lottery?
Absolutely. There's no problem with that. There's no connection between the two. So green card lottery participants are perfectly welcome to participate in summer work and travel.
Thank you. So right now we have answered all the questions. If you do have some more, please submit them.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and please ask some more questions. Otherwise, Katya is going to have to start interviewing us about something else.
Let me think.
So I think we can talk about what the purpose of the summer work travel program is, and it really is kind of multi-part. One is I think primarily to give Ukrainian students a chance to add to their academic program, to get the chance to experience another culture, to experience the U.S. and see how things are done in the United States, and to improve their English and bring that back and help them in their studies.
It's a great way to practice English. Ideally, you gain a lot of experience. So I agree. I second everything Sharon has said, that you gain experience working in another culture. Mm-hmm. It's a great opportunity to practice your English. And it's also an interesting way to learn about American business practices,
Absolutely.
which may differ a little bit from Ukrainian business practices.
Right.
We got a question from Natalie Golovanova. She is asking, is it possible to work from the 1st of May till the 9th of September? Or if you want to start until 9th of September, you have to start your work on 9th of May.
Okay.
That's an interesting question.
Well, the program dates are May 9th through September 9th. You don't have to work the entire 4 months, but your work has to fall within that 4-month period.
You can't start work before May 9th.
But you can travel before
You could
May 9th.
travel, exactly. You can travel to the United States before May 9th, but you cannot start your work before May 9th.
Thank you. Here's the question from the 4th year student. He's asking, or Stas is asking, whether 4th year students can participate in summer work and travel program.
Absolutely, yes. Any student who's accredited university, full-time student, is able to participate in the program.
Stas, we hope to see you in the visa line here this year.
And convince us what a great student you are.
Exactly.
And you can start scheduling your summer work and travel visa appointment right now. The slots are open, and
do we know anything about how many we have filled, or we just started?
we just started. Yeah, so we are waiting for you to come.
And we do recommend that you schedule your appointment as soon as possible, so that you don't miss out on the opportunity, because there are limited slots. There's a limited time that we can interview.
Yeah.
So schedule as soon as possible.
And don't wait until the end of May or the middle of May, because it's not enough time to schedule.
Yeah.
It's better to schedule on February or March.
Right.
Yeah, again, please schedule as soon as possible. Every year, there are students that wait till the very last moment to schedule, and often they find that there are not enough slots open for them to do that. So please schedule as soon as possible.
Or if you wait till the end, you might find that you're missing a document you needed, and there's not time to get that document to reschedule the appointment.
Yeah, that's true. So, and please join us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/SWT Ukraine. You will find all necessary information there, the list of approved agencies, our rules and regulations, how to fill in the DS-160, and all other important things you need to know before applying for a J1 Summer Work and Travel program.
Great. Katya, did you or do you know someone who participated in summer work travel?
Yeah, I have a lot of students who participated in this program before, and they were so exciting after coming back. I would recommend this program to all other students. I think this is a great program and a great chance to improve your English, to have a great summer.
What type of jobs did your friends do?
One was a lifeguard.
Uh-huh.
And the second one was, I don't remember exactly, different kind of jobs, but everyone came back happy and pleased
That's
after
good.
participation.
I know there's a lot of different jobs, so it's so there's a lot of variety out there for what you can do in the United States on summer work travel.
And the type of jobs you're going to be doing in summer work travel are very much the type of jobs a college student in the United States does during their summer.
Yeah. So we got the new question, what about students who are studying on their masters? For instance, if I study on my 5th year, but I will graduate on my 6th year, do I have high chances to be rejected in visa as I have bachelor's? So what would you say, Bob?
Okay, so when we look at students, we're looking at, again, as we've said, the accredited university, your English level, whether or not you're a full-time student. Some consideration is taken into account how much time you have left on your studies.
Because we want to make sure that what you're getting is going to benefit you as a student.
Yeah, exactly. But really just, it's up to you to show us kind of your commitment to returning and following the program rules and coming back and finishing your studies. So being a good, committed student is the best thing that you can be in order to show that you're going to be a great summer work travel participant.
Here's one more question about from the second year student. He's asking about his grade book. I don't have a signed grade book, but my dean for the last semester, because he haven't done it yet, but it's signed for the whole first year of studying. Is it okay?
Can we tell him to go yell at his dean for being so slow in this? Well, we do need to see that you're in good standing. So you really do need to show us your grade book.
Yeah, I mean, it would be
better to have it signed.
It's better to have it signed.
It would be very beneficial to have your grade book signed. I'm not sure if you can find some other students and maybe you all go up to the dean together and maybe talk to the dean about, please fill out the grade book and sign it because we're really interested in this program. Yeah.
In my experience, Katya and I went and did some outreach, and my experience was the deans are very interested in their students participating in summer work and travel. So I think if you went to the dean and said, I have to have this for my interview, they're most likely going to help you out.
Of course. The next question is, can a medical intern who has to study at medical university for 2-3 years on internship participate in summer work and travel program?
Maybe, Katya, you can help us out with this. Is a medical internship the same as being a medical student?
Actually, I don't know, because I know that medical students, they can participate. They usually study...
while they're students.
Yeah, while they are students. So maybe you should just...
So again, you have to be a
clarify.
student. If this is just an internship where you're gaining experience as a doctor, then unfortunately, no, you wouldn't be eligible. But if you're in medical school and you're in one of your years of medical training, then yes, you are eligible for the
You're taking classes, you're studying.
at medical university. So you need to be a full-time student taking classes. It sounds like doing an internship means that you're not qualified, unfortunately.
Yeah, thank you. The next question is, what is the earliest period of getting to USA? For example, to travel before work. I think this is the question about 30 days before.
Right.
So
May 9th is the first day for the work.
Then it should be probably April 10th, I
Yeah.
think
Right.
would be.
30 days before.
Yeah.
If I'm going a second time to the US, I worked last year. Do I need to bring DS 2019 form from my last interview?
No, you don't need to bring it from your last interview. In past years, students did bring them, and I occasionally looked at it, but it's not required to bring your old DS 2019. Just please don't forget your current
Correct.
DS 2019. That one we absolutely do need.
The next question is, do some college students, I'm sorry, it is not available right now. Do some college students are still eligible to the program in case the college is a part of university with a right to
Continue
studies
studies
in our university?
So Katya's having a hard time here because our technical people are throwing
We
things,
have
throwing things up
some
on the screen.
technical
for her, yes.
difficulties,
Sure.
I'm sorry. So I didn't get the
So
question.
she's doing an amazing job of figuring this out.
So basically, the question I think is: do college students are they eligible for the program if they're part of a university where they have the right to continue their studies in that university?
So I think they're asking, they're currently a college student, a vocational student, but they're
But
part of
they
an
will
academic school, and they can transfer over to the academic if they want to continue. But that means they're currently a vocational student.
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, while you're still classified as a college student, you're not able to participate. But as soon as you get into university and become an academic student, please participate in summer work travel. We'd be more than happy to have you participate.
So there's a question from Oksana Fedorovska. She asks, I would like to know if student from Colombia who currently studies in Ukraine can apply for J1 visa.
Yeah, thanks, Oksana. Absolutely. So the summer work and travel program is open for any student studying here in Ukraine at a accredited university. So you don't have to be Ukrainian. We take applications from anyone who's studying here in Ukraine.
Thank you.
Great questions so far. So it looks like we have about 8 minutes before we finish our live web chat. So everyone, you have about 8 minutes to get all of those really good questions answered by experts.
Well, by
So,
experts
yeah.
and helpers.
Yeah, exactly.
Sharon, Bob, can you remind about the tips how to pass summer work and travel interviews successfully? How to behave, what to do when you come to the officer window. Sometimes you get nervous and you just forget all the questions about your job, about your study. What would you recommend how to behave?
So I think, Bob, you started out with students should be calm.
Exactly.
And I know that sometimes I get very nervous. I tend to get nervous, especially trying to speak in Russian. And I find sometimes I just need to stop, close my eyes, take a deep breath, and then I find that I can speak where I wasn't able to speak before. So you might need to do that. You might need to just stop, take a breath. And the officer's going to understand that. They're going to understand that you're nervous.
Exactly. And also just be as honest and answer all the questions as honestly and with as much information as you can for the consular officer.
And
That's a big tip.
realize that we're going to look at those documents that we require, and bring those other documents that you feel help to demonstrate that you are a dedicated student and dedicated to returning to Ukraine. But also understand that the officer might not need to look at those.
Yeah.
Thank you. So we got, I think, almost the last question. What are the age requirements for program participants?
I don't think we have any, do we?
So there are no age requirements for program participants. That being said, it would look a little strange if there was a 45-year-old person applying for summer work and travel. We would have to make sure that you're really an academic student, that you're, we would want to just make sure that you're a committed student to what your, whatever program that you're studying in.
Although I taught and I had older students, and those were often the best students I had.
So there you go. There's no age requirement, so you're welcome to apply.
Come apply.
So I think we have run out of time. Thank you for your great questions. We were happy to answer them. We hope it helped you, and we are waiting for you in the